Today, I'm going to be talking about something that's tremendously helped my golf game, and I think it can help yours too. So about 3 months ago, I picked up a book on Amazon called Putting Out of Your Mind by Dr. Bob Rotella. And you should know a little bit about me. My putting has always been what I've considered awful. When I stand over the ball, I think about all the ways I can miss. I think about the importance of the putt. Think, oh my goodness, this is for birdie, or oh, if I miss this, it's going to be triple bogey. Things like that. And so I had gotten word from a friend about this book, and I picked it up and started reading it, and it really resonated. And I immediately, on my next round, tried to start putting the things that Dr. Bob recommends into practice. And pretty much, and I'm not saying this is going to happen for everyone, but pretty much I saw immediate results. And of course that helped. So I continued on my journey with this and just stuck to it. And I have to tell you, it's really, really helped my golf game. Now I'm actually looking forward to putting. It's been a complete turnaround.
So just a few numbers to back up that claim. In the 15 rounds prior to reading this book and making some putting changes, my putts per round were 34.2 putts per round. In the 15 rounds after reading the book and implementing these changes, my putts per round dropped to 31.9 putts per round, a difference of 2.3 putts per round, 2.3 strokes per round, massive.
And by the way, this is just an honest review of this book. Obviously no sponsorship or anything here. This is just me sharing a real success story. And I hope maybe it can help some of you who maybe haven't heard of this book. It's been out for a long time. It's not new. Dr. Bob Rotella has written another one called, what was that called again? I actually read it first. Oh yeah, Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. That's right. So Dr. Bob, put that book out, another great read. But this one impacted my game more than that one. It's really transformed my putting. So we're going to talk about some of the big takeaways that I got from reading this book, things that have really changed my mindset on the golf course. And like I said, maybe if this resonates with you, pick up a copy of the book and see if it can do the same for you. It's pretty awesome. So the first kind of component of this is Dr. Bob talks about how most of putting is actually mental. You already have the components you need to be a great putter. It's not about all the technical aspects that many people make it out to be. Instead, it's really about, you already have the skills, you already have the technique, because putting is different than the rest of the golf game. You just kind of have to get your mind out of the way. And for me, that resonated in a big, big way. Because like I said earlier, when I stood over putts, I was a mess. So that's kind of the first component of Dr. Bob's system, is you got to clear your mind every time you're about to approach a putt. So for example, just hit my approach shot on the second hole, and I've got this left for birdie. So, looks like maybe just under 20 feet. I can't think about that. I can't think about what it is, how much it means. Instead, now I need to clear my mind, and I just need to see the putt, where it's going to go. Part of clearing your mind is having a routine. And going through that routine, I'm going to try to see the break, which way the green is going. Another added benefit of this system, I don't even line up the ball anymore. I'm just trusting natural instincts. And you'll see me go through this process now over and over again. Dr. Bob talks about process being important. All I'm doing now is seeing the ball go in. That's it. Look at the target. Look at the ball. Not bad at all. Easy tap in par. Take that all the time. All right, so clearing your mind is point number one. Second one, you kind of heard me saying it there actually. The last thing I do before pulling the trigger, and Dr. Bob says this over and over again in his book, is I look at my target, I look back at the ball, I pull the trigger. That's it, over and over again. Look at the ball, look at the target, look at the ball, putt. I actually say those words in my head every single time. So I go through my routine, I see my line, I clear my head, and then look at the target, the one that I've picked, the one that's gonna, you know, have the ball go into the hole. Look at the target, look at the ball, let the ball go with no time in between. So there's no time for negative thoughts to get in the way. There's no time for any of that nonsense. And so that little saying is my trigger for putting, and it's the end of my putting routine every single time. And it doesn't give me time to think negative thoughts. Now, after each putt, I evaluate, did I clear my mind, right? Was I thinking about other things? If the answer is, yes, I cleared my mind. Yes, I went through the routine. I pulled the trigger. Everything went well. I don't care if I made the putt. Well, I mean, I do, but I don't judge the putt now on whether or not the ball is going in. If I hit my line and I stay committed and my mind was clear, I chalk that up to a great putt. It's kind of like what Jack Nicklaus said, you know, he never, I think he was out on a course or he was interviewed afterwards and he said he never missed a putt. And they said, well, but you missed, you know, X, Y, and Z. And he's like, no, I never missed any. Because he made every putt in his mind. He hit it where he wanted to. And that's kind of key to what we're talking about here. So far, to recap, we've talked about clearing your mind, huge, and you have to commit to that. And then 2, look at the target, look at the ball, hit the ball. Works, I'm telling you. Third point. So the third point is you got to trust your line. You got to trust your initial read. So don't spend an overly huge amount of time. Don't second guess yourself. Usually, Dr. Bob says, your initial read is the correct one or the best one. So look, I'm not a great greens reader. I don't profess to be, but I've gotten a lot better by trusting my initial read. When you start second guessing everything, again, doubts come into your mind. So take a look, do your homework. You know, you can even look from both sides of the hole. That's fine. Do your homework. But then once you've picked your line, commit to it. Don't second guess. And why? Well, if you second guess, that's right, your mind's not clear, right? You can't be second guessing something while you're putting and then also say you have a clear mind. Clearly you don't. So you got to clear your mind and don't second guess. So read the putt and then trust your read. All right, another birdie putt coming up on 3. It's not a close one, so it's going to have a little bit of length to it, which brings me to my next point and one of the keys that have changed my putting as well. Dr. Rotella says, don't try to just leg it up. Try to make everything. So yes, within reason, you have to have the right pace. You don't want to be blowing things by the hole. Sometimes you trickle it in. Sometimes you ram it into the back of the hole. But the point is, you're going to try to make every single putt. You're going to see every putt going in the hole, not a 1-foot circle around the hole or any of that nonsense, because then you're playing a miss. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to make every single one, including the one coming up here. So I look behind the hole. Looks like it's going to go to my left a little bit. Just under 27 feet. Look at the hole from this side, and I'm confirming what I saw. Definitely going from right to left. So I'm going to pick a target just outside the hole. I don't think it's going to break too much. It's slightly uphill, so I have to remind myself of that. I'm going to clean my ball. That's all I'm doing here, by the way, because now I don't line anything up. I'm going to trust the skill I already have. I'm going to see the line, see the ball going into the hole. Now, I'll walk you through my routine. And to be fair, this is not 100% clearing my mind because I'm talking to a camera, but it's pretty close. So I'm going to line up my putter first. This is what I do, by the way. This is not from the book. Everyone's routine can be different. So I get into my stance, ball position where I want it. Take a look. I'm going to back up, take my grip. I'm just going to feel the putt. How hard do I have to hit it? I'm looking at my target, by the way. Feel like that's good. Walk back into the ball, make sure it's lined up. And then I look down, look at the target, look at the ball, putt. And okay, so it went actually to the other side. So my read was wrong. But good putt, right? Like overall, nice solid putt. And an easy par. And that brings me to my last takeaway from the book. And by the way, there's a lot more in the book. So again, highly recommend you read it. However, the main last takeaway for me was about chipping. There's a whole chapter on chipping. He makes the argument that chipping really isn't all that different from putting. So you need to commit to a chip like a putt. Clear your mind. You need to see it going in. Do not play just to get it within a little circle. See that ball going in. And I got to tell you, I have had more chip ins since I started doing this than ever before. Not an incredible amount that you're like, oh, you're a PGA Tour pro. But for me, to have any, and since I've done this, I think I've chipped in 5 times, which is crazy. So it works. And of course, it's not going to go in most of the time, but it's getting pretty close, or it's getting a lot closer than it used to be, because my intention is to get it in, not to just get it close. So I'm not playing to miss. And that is huge. So I'm going to be able to test this chipping because I just hit really the first kind of lousy shot of the round. So kind of short. Luckily, I was in between clubs, so it's really mushy here. Whew. I was in between clubs, and so I went with the longer club and kind of choked down just a touch, but then I hit it funny and ended up short. So here, now I'm going to have a chance to execute what we were just talking about, which is chipping. Now I could technically putt this one, but there's enough kind of fringe here. I'll take a look at it. I mean, just because I want to chip, I mean, I have to, but as I get closer to this ball, it's looking more and more like it is going to be a chipping situation. All right. So for this one, I'm going to try to take you more inside what I'm seeing. So here's the ball. Got a lot of fringe, and there's the pin. So I want to land it kind of on the fringe and let it trickle out. That's my goal here. Little mud on the ball. Now, when it gets onto the green, it should move to the left just slightly. So I just a touch to the right. I think it's going to move. Maybe not, actually. No, maybe it might move to the right. Now, I'm not second guessing my first read. This is my first read. So yeah, I'm going to play it out just touch to the left. And again, I want to land this on the fringe. If it goes onto the green, I've hit it incorrectly. Getting the feel, address the ball, look at my target, look at the ball. Not terrible, but not exactly what I wanted. But here's the other brilliant part about this. I would think I have no chance at the par in the past. Honestly, it's not even that far, but I would think that way. Not so much now. Now I'm like, I can make this. And you might say, well, that's not far. Of course you can make it. But I was a mental case before. So I'm kind of looking right edge of the cup, maybe. No more than that. And I'm visualizing going into the hole. Now, there are some times when I get a close putt that I don't take a practice stroke. It's just all about feel, actually. Kind of how am I feeling? I don't feel this one, so feel it go in. Look at my target. Look at the ball. And that's okay. I hit a good putt. I can live with the bogey. So one of the added bonuses is this book has kind of revitalized the use of my old kind of run down broken putting mat. It had the auto return, but long since has broken. And I didn't use it that much until this book, because I always thought it was like too easy. It's too repetitive, same putt. But Dr. Bob talks about making putts over and over again, training your brain to see the ball go into the hole. And so I do that on my mat. I go through my process. Now I don't need to read the putt because they're straight putts, right? So I don't need to read the putt. But the practice is still incredible because I go through my process. I set up, I make sure my stance is correct. I go through the dialogue in my head, clearing my mind. And then I look at my target, look at the ball, make the stroke. And I do this over and over again, seeing the ball go into the hole over and over again. And it does build confidence. It's incredible. So I don't think you need a fancy putting mat if you've got this book. I think you need any old putting mat. Pick one up at the garage sale. It doesn't matter. Just start putting and seeing the ball go in the hole over and over again. I've got an 8-foot mat. So most of my putts are between 8 and 7 feet, depending on where I put the ball. I just see it go in over and over again. It's helped tremendously. Feel how hard I had to hit it to have it go in. Address the ball. Look at the ball. And that's okay. Again, easy par. Take easy pars all day. So if anyone you know struggles with putting, you struggle with putting, if a friend, family member, great gift, it's an easy read, even for people who maybe aren't huge readers. It is an easy read. I'm telling you, just give it a go. It's an older book. My guess is it's over 20 years old, so some of the references to prose and stuff, a little dated, but that doesn't hurt anyone. The truths still remain the same. Doesn't change. I don't think putting's really changed all that much over the years. So there you have it. Highly recommend it. Putting Out of Your Mind by Dr. Bob Rotella. Check it out. If you've read it, let me know what you think. Has it helped you like it helped me? Love to hear. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Golf Quest.